Call our regular board meeting to order at 7:34. We're located in the Village Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham.
Here.
Trustee Chamalave is absent. Trustee Senior.
Here.
Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Trustee Shelby.
Here.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller.
Here.
All right, Madam President, we have a quorum. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Can we please have a moment of silence? Thank you. Item 2, public comments. Madam President, I have received none at this time. Moving us on to item 3, communications. I have a couple. Broadview Safety Saturday. Join the building department and the fire department for heating your home safely. Join Commissioner Upshaw and Chief Tracy Kinney along with local heating specialists. We will talk about safe ways to heat your home and how to have your heating units inspected. This will be Saturday, October 8th at 10 a.m. right here in Village Chambers. Next, Hispanic Heritage Celebration. Come celebrate with us. Celebrate the beauty and cultural richness of Hispanic Heritage Month with Broadview, Saturday, October 15th at the Beverly Center, located at 3031 South 25th Avenue from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll have vendors, DJ, and food. Next, Aging in Community Public Workshops. Wednesday, October 12th, right here at Village Hall, 2350 South 25th, from 2 to 4 p.m. Billwood and Broadview have collaborated in a joint partnership in the Aging and Changing Region program, which is elevating how 2 municipalities currently support their elders and adult residents as they age in community and how they may do so even better so going forward. Again, October 12th, 2 to 4 p.m. right here at Village Hall. Lastly, the Broadview Community Shred Day, Saturday, October 15th, 9 a.m. to noon, right here at the Village Hall parking lot. And that concludes our communications. Next is item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. Minutes from the August 15th, 2022 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you, Trustee Abraham. You have any questions or comments?
No.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chamalave is absent. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Okay, roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Trustees Chamalave and Armour are absent. This carries 4-0. Thank you all. Next item. Item 5, consideration to approve expenditures. Grand total of all funds, $858,813.75 for the period 9/28/2022.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby, Finance Chairwoman, will you please read the warrant list?
Okay, yes, the warrant list of September the 28th, 2022. The vendors, B&F Construction Code Services, $3,783.75. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $164,135.31. Commercial Tire Service, $3,016.08. Delgado Law Group LLC, $14,173.75. Eco Clean Maintenance Incorporated, $2,504. Juan P. Cortez Hernandez, $5,250. Law Offices of Philip M. Fernaro, $25,000. Lincoln National Life Insurance, $7,158.30. Manuel Mario Gutierrez, $3,600. Mid-American Water, $15,652.57. Sherwin Industries Incorporated, $3,290. Site One Landscape Supply, $2,773.61. Utility Service Company Incorporated, $585,293. The total expenditures over $2,500 was $835,630.37. The $835,630.37 is 97% of our all total expenditures in the amount of $858,813.75, which we had a manual payment, and the vendors was Maywood Fine Arts. The date was September the 21st, 2022. The check number 83382 in the amount of $500. And the Illinois Liquor Control Commission, check date was September the 22nd, 2022. The check number 83383 for $25, which the total manual payments came to $525. Okay, and the following funds were affected by these expenditures. The general fund in the amount of $253,109.32. We have the capital projects fund in the amount of $731.25. We have the water and sewage fund in the amount of $604,448.18. Again, for a grand total of $858,288.75. And with those checks that's added, it came to $813.75. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Shelby. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments?
No.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Chalmalabi is absent. Trustee Shelby?
No questions?
Trustee Armour is absent. Trustee Miller?
No question.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustees Child, Malavi, and Armour are absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0 to pay the bills. Thank you. Next, item 6, presentation. We have none. Bringing us to item 7, committee reports, which are given at every first meeting of the month, starting with the Business License Committee. Trustee Armour, does anyone have anything in her stead since she's absent?
No.
No? Okay, we'll move on to Police and Fire. Trustee Miller.
Just real quickly, we had a meeting this week to kind of discuss one of the purchase orders that are on the agenda, or the purchase order that's on the agenda for the fire department. And I think we had a really good discussion. We were able to see a demonstration of the actual equipment that's proposed to be purchased. I did request the fire department to post that demonstration as a video online so that the residents will know what this equipment does and how it kind of supports the initiatives that the fire department is trying to push forward. And while we didn't have any residents in attendance, if anybody has any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I will answer those either via email or grab me outside after the meeting. That's it.
Okay. Thank you for your report, Trustee. Next is the Finance Committee. Trustee Shelby.
I'm sorry?
Your committee report, do you have one?
No.
Okay,
No
thank you,
reports, I'm
Trustee.
sorry.
Next is the Building and Public Property. In Trustee Chalmalavi's absence, does anyone have anything to report? Nothing? Thank you. Next is Water, Drainage, and Health. Trustee Senior.
Yes. As, excuse me, I'm sorry, as the chair of the Water, Drainage, and Health Committee, I have been working with the staff the mayor, and the Metropolitan Planning Council on the Broadview Water Affordability Report. The scope of the work includes the following. First, I'm sorry, let me say this. I left books like this for all of the trustees, so they'll be able to kind of read up on it as well. I'm sorry, I should have said that first. Okay. So the scope of the work includes the following. Conduct quantitative analysis of billing and the usage of data to identify the potential issues related to water affordability. Conduct the quantitative analysis with officials, staff, water customers, and other stakeholders to identify the potential issues related to water affordability. And produce a water affordability report summarizing the analysis and recommending tailored solutions. Our next meeting with the MPC is on tomorrow, and once we get closer to completing the report, I will host a Water, Health, and Drainage Committee meeting to report the findings. And that's all that I have for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee. Next, streets, sidewalks, and alleys, trustee Abraham.
Yes, currently, because we have so many ongoing projects that are getting close to completion, as well as being extended past the first of the year, Madam Mayor, I'd like to, probably after the first of the year, host a committee meeting. And I'm not sure if trustee senior with, since she's doing water, if that's gonna be affected, because I'm sure there's been a lot of things changing in different areas of the town and across our town here. From the north side to the south side, we have many projects that have been undertaken, and I know there's been a lot of questions directed to us about, the repairs to streets, the sidewalks, the personal property that's been ongoing. So I would feel to have more information so we can say what's completed now, and then what's still gonna carry over, and then what other new projects will be coming up. So I wanna feel to have Director Ames here for that, to do that type of a presentation. And
Okay.
also invite my fellow trustees, and then as well as trustee senior, because of the water and drainage.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Okay, thank you for your report, trustee. That concludes the committee reports. Next, item 8, old business, we have none. Next, item 9, new business. A, consideration of an application for a business license requested by Gregory Cocco Agency, LLC, doing business as business insurance experts at 2600 South 25th Avenue, Suite 120, to operate in the village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Abraham, seconded by trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you. Commissioner Upshaw, will you tell us about this new business?
Good evening, Mayor, Board,
Good evening.
residents. Gregory Cocco Agency LLC, doing business as business insurance experts, will be located at 2600 South 25th Avenue in Suite 120. It is an insurance agency, and they'll be selling personal and commercial insurance. All inspections have been done, and they are compliant with all village codes and have been issued a certificate of occupancy.
That's it?
Entertain any questions at this.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Shelby,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
trustees Chalmalave and Armour are absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you. Next on the agenda, item B. Consideration of an application for a business license requested by A&Y Cigar, Inc. at 2828 South 17th Avenue to operate in the village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Abraham, seconded by trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you. Commissioner Upshaw, I think this is you too for another license.
Yes, it is, Mayor. A&I Cigar, Inc. will be located at 2828 South 17th, also known as the Rose Plaza. It'll be right next to Starbucks, just as a point of reference. They have completed all of their inspections. Brief description of their business is that they will be selling tobacco products. I spoke to Trustee Shelby earlier, it is not a place, it is a purchase and go. It's not a cigar lounge where you can sit down and hang around. She thought that was a concern, but it is strictly purchase and go. They are complying with all their inspections and also have been issued a certificate of occupancy at this time.
Okay, thank
And I'll
you.
entertain any questions.
Trustee Abraham?
None.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
When was their certificate of occupancy issued?
Give me just a minute, Trustee.
Okay, I asked because I see a 9/19 date on
No.
here. Is that the date that it was issued?
No.
Okay.
Ten-one.
So was that a temporary
Yes,
certificate?
it was
Okay.
a temporary.
Okay, so as of 10/1 is when they had the authority to operate, right?
Yes, they had a temporary certificate.
Okay, so could they operate prior to that? Because I'm certain they were open prior to 10/1.
No, they could not.
Okay, so I'll talk to you about this later, because
Okay.
I had a concern about them being open, and their open sign was displayed prior to 10/1.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Senior?
Yes.
Trustee Shelby?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
Trustees Chalmalave and Armour are absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board.
All right, next is item 10, application for the authority to expend funds totaling $46,919.71 for Stryker, and this is for the fire department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Miller, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you, Chief Kenny, would you tell us about this equipment that you want to purchase?
Yes. I'm sorry. Good evening, Mayor, trustees, and residents.
Good evening.
On Wednesday evening last week, we had a lively discussion about how the equipment works. Even Stryker was here to demonstrate the equipment, which I thought it was an excellent idea to put something like that on our website so people could see how the product works. So what this is a CPR machine that gives constant compressions during a full arrest. I'll just give you an example of the times that we're doing CPR. When you stop doing CPR, you are just taking away all the hard work you've already done, and the chances of someone coming back reduce. So constant CPR is important. If we are taking someone down a stairwell, they have to sit in an upright position in one of our stair chairs because our stretchers do not fit up. We're just give an example, a Georgian stairwell, which is a common home in town. So while they're sitting upright, you can't do compressions. This machine does, while someone's sitting upright, it does do compressions, so we can get through narrow spaces, get them out to the ambulance. We are never taking our hands off the patient, as in the CPR machine is not being stopped. It is constantly moving while we're moving the patient around. So I think it's an excellent piece of equipment. We are using part of our ARPA funds for this. We've separated it between EMS and ARPA. We are actually requesting 2 of these, one for the ambulance and one to be used if our backup ambulance is in, if we have enough people on shift and we can run the backup ambulance, it's on that. If not, we are an ALS engine. To have it on our ALS engine, we can do everything, and we can follow the hospital, or whatever ambulance comes out of town to take somebody, we can follow them to the hospital and get the machine back. So it's an amazing piece of equipment, and this equipment isn't new, it's been around for years. This is the first one I've seen where you can sit somewhere upright. Elevators too, sometimes elevators, we can even have someone on a cot, but we have to lift the back portion, so we stopped doing CPR at that time. Now we can lift that back portion, and it never ends. Just since we've had the, I'm not gonna say rental unit, the loaner, thank you. Out of the 4 people we had that had a fluoresce, 3, we got a pulse back on them. So, and we actually used it the day of Juneteenth down the street from the event, and we're able to get there with it. So, it's a great thing.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments?
No questions. All good.
Trustee Senior?
I have no questions, but I love the way how you broke that down and articulated and expressed it. It's like it's like watching a movie. I could just see the whole transaction. So I'm glad.
Thank you.
To be able to say, yes, let's do it.
Thank you. I think
Yes.
part of breaking that down is the mayor suggesting, why don't we have a committee meeting and be able to show in sequence how this thing, and I think seeing it makes you believe that it's a good product, so thank
It sounds really
you.
interesting, so
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you. Yes.
Trustee Shelby?
Yeah, I was very impressed with the demonstration. I think it's an excellent piece of equipment that the village could use. I just had a question on the amount. The price here, is this for both the machines, right?
Yes.
And then the other part of it, the fundings was coming out of,
The ARPA funds that we have
Yes.
25,000 left, so we're using that along with some EMS funds. We had put money aside to have one. It actually was $27,000. Originally, we thought $20,000, but there's that pro care. Any damage to the equipment, any problems with the equipment in the first year, everything's replaceable. It's got a 6-year warranty, we found out, with the
Right.
pro care. All that makes a difference. So now with the ARPA funds and the discounts we're getting, because a lot of communities around us, Westchester and Bellwood, are also buying it, we got a great reduction in cost. So it brought it down from 50,000 to 49,000, or 54,000 to 49,000.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
And I said that wrong. 54,000 to 46,000. Thank you.
So I just want to add to, life safety is the fire department's primary responsibility in the village. And although we are a small town of 8,000 residents, during daytime hours, we can get up to 40 to 50,000 people in town at one time. So not only do we get to save somebody's life that lives here, but the people that work here are just as important as the people that live here. So when Chief Kenny and Deputy Chief Martin brought this to my attention, I was like, well, let's get a committee meeting going to talk about it out loud and get the other trustees, Trustee Miller, who's the chair, to host a meeting so that they can understand why it's so important to have this equipment. And although it's costly, but you can't replace a life. So it's like, what do you value the most? So I just, I'm glad that we have a team of leaders in the fire department that's proactive, that looks out not just for the residents, but everyone that visit us every single day. So thank you, Chief.
Thank you. And I want to stress that Alex Stevens brought this to us. He's the EMS coordinator. He's done research on this for a long time and didn't believe in the other piece. When this one came along, this was it. And he brought it to our attention, and he did a great example with the heart pumping and everything. It was a really good one.
Well, we can't wait to get it online so everybody can see what it is that is in this video.
Great. Thanks, Mayor.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Shelby,
Yes,
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustees Chalmalave and Armour are absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you.
All right, next, item 11, we have a closed session.
Mr.
Hey.
Clerk, I would like to call the meeting out of order to do president and the clerk's report, or clerk report president, before we go to closed session.
Can I have a motion to do that, please?
Sure, I'll make the motion.
a second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Shelby, to take the meeting out of its regular order and go straight to village clerk report prior to the closed session. So with that being said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are now at item 12, village clerk report. Going back to the communication regarding the Hispanic Heritage Celebration on Saturday, October 15th, the clerk will be hosting voter registration at that time as well. So if you have neighbors or family members or anyone that you know of in Broadview that has not registered to vote yet, please do so at that location or contact the village clerk's office at any time between Monday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so we can get you registered to vote. That concludes my report, Madam President.
Mr. Clerk, before you move on,
Yes, ma'am.
your voter registration that you're hosting, do you have any flyers or anything out on social media so that we can create awareness for voter registration?
I will have that available tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me make a note of that.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Next item, item 13, Village President's Report. Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you, and good evening, Board of Trustees and residents. We do have, Unity Day is coming up on October 19th, so we're and we'll send out some reminders to wear orange on October 19th. Also, and we'll get literature out with this too, but join us for our Small Business Entrepreneur Meeting on Saturday, November 5th, 10 a.m. to noon. We're going to talk, we partner with BMO Harris Bank to talk about access to capital, start a business, labor laws 101, and why join an association. So I think as we have more home-based businesses here in town, it's time to take them to the next level on what they have access to and banking partners that they can rely on to get some of the access capital. So if you have a small business and you're interested in participating, join us on Saturday, November 5th from 10 a.m. to noon right here in the Village Chambers. I do want to say that I'm honored and I'm blessed to serve the Village of Broadview, and I sincerely mean it's like heartfelt. Last week I was announced the next president for the West Central Municipal League Conference, and I'm the first black person to hold that seat in 40 years that agency has been around, so that's significant. Thank you. That's significant to the people that I represent. Representation does matter. We have over 40 municipalities that's in this league and over 600 constituents that we serve every single day. So I'm honored and blessed. I've served on the executive committee for some time. I first got on the legislative committee, so I follow legislation that impacts not only just small communities, because that's where my passion is, small communities and non-home rule communities, but we've also had passed some legislation as it relates to gaming that I have brought to the foresight for WCMC to take the lead on that impacts the Village of Broadview. So I'm honored that my colleagues recognize me in the leadership that I present, not only to our own town, but to our neighboring community. So I just want to tell Broadview, thank you for your faith and your belief and allow me to create a vision that we all sometimes can't see, but you trust me to get us there, so thank you. This past weekend, we celebrated our 3rd annual Tour de Proviso. And this is near and dear to my heart because it just literally started with a simple post, who want to ride? In 2020 when we were in the pandemic. And we had a few people that came from Hillside, Berkeley, Forest Park, Bellwood, and Maywood. And we just started riding once a week during the pandemic. And the clerk would join us from time to time. I think Trustee Senior came once or twice. But we started riding, and it's a ride that turned out for 25 people. On this past Saturday, we rode with over almost 500 people. And we hosted it in the Village of Riverside. So I'm just grateful that I have other leaders that surround me that just trust to get their communities involved and get us engaged in their community. So we're learning about one another, even in our differences. And when I talk about our differences, I'm not just talking about our racial makeup, I'm talking about our income makeup, how we care for our community makeup, how we transition and be neighborly and embrace the change that's coming before us. Because the change is coming and we have to embrace the change and be ready to navigate through that change. But we have other leaders that's just as passionate about the service work that I have, and that makes me proud that they partner with us. So this year was our 3rd annual. Next year is our 4th annual, and we're going to be passing the torch to our neighbors. The Village of Westchester will be hosting Tour de Proviso. So even though it's Tour de Proviso, it's to tap into all communities, but Proviso is where it started. It started with Bellwood, Broadview, and Maywood, and we honor that proudly. Mayor Harvey and Trustee McGill Jones, who partnered with me on getting this initiative started. So I'm excited about the future and what it holds and all of the potential that we have when we talk about health and wellness, when we talk about transportation and bike lanes, when we talk about tourism and showcasing our communities on everything that we have to offer in our communities. And although we may not have what other communities have, we have a unique brand that's for Broadview or any other community that resides within these communities. But the whole initiative is to create tourism, health and wellness, and transportation. And as I rode through the Brookfield Zoo and I rode through the village of Riverside, you can tell that village of Riverside is well maintained with these streets. We didn't have bumps like when we rode in Broadview or Bellwood or Maywood, because they advocate and they allocate their dollars to go to the things that's important to their community. And we just want to bring awareness to all of our funders, the state of Illinois, Cook County, and the federal government, that we need infrastructure. We want our streets repaired. We want bike lanes too. And I've seen a lot of bike lanes in residential areas. How come we can't have that in Broadview or Maywood or Bellwood? So it's time for us to stand up as leaders and not be afraid to talk about the things that we need in our own community. We want bike lanes. I mean, don't you want a bike lane in your residential community because it's a nice paved street and we got nice bike lanes where we can ride and our children can ride safely and, you know, not get ran over by a car? We deserve everything every other community have, whether you rich or poor. We deserve it all, and we want it all. So Broadview, we strong. We coming for all of the dollars that impact our community to create all of these initiatives that we are seeking. And then finally, I got a letter from Elmwood Park Fire Department, and I want to read it. It's dated September 27, 2022. Dear Mayor Thompson, I've been meaning to reach out to you for some time now and apologize for the long overdue credit. I would like to commend you and Chief Kenny for the Explorer program offered by the Broadview Fire Department. I was first introduced to this program in 2014, 2015 when a couple of boys from the Elmwood Park Boy Scout troop brought it to my attention. I have never heard of such a program for individuals of such an age. Some people think from a very early age they would like to become a firefighter when they get older. And when the time comes, they start to train for it. They discovered that it really was not what they thought it would be. Broadview's programs gives many young individuals the opportunity to find out early on if this is the career choice is one that they would like to pursue. The program also teaches our youth structure, which is not always taught in school and may be absent in their home or personal life. I believe this structure helps the youth in this program excel not only in life, but in their academics as well. It teaches them about the job itself, not only what is seen by the public, but the training and the continuous education that is needed to keep the state certification. It shows them what it's like to work at a firehouse 24 hours and how to get along with all types of personalities. Chief Kenny has a strict policy for the explorers in which they must maintain a grade point average, and they may not be a part of the program. This was great if they truly liked the fire service. Then they would be sure to study hard. Over the last several years, I've had a number of people come ask me if Elmwood Park has some type of Explorer program or a POC program that would be interested youth could join. The first words out of my mouth were Broadview and Chief Kenny have an excellent program. They look into it and they come back and tell me how much they enjoyed the program. A group of local youths have participated in her program, have all, at some point before turning 21, asked me to become a POC member, paid on call, of the Elmwood Park Fire Department. I always make them a deal. As long as they continue Chief Kenny's Explorer program until they're 21, they can become a POC in Elmwood Park. Currently, I believe this is one Elmwood Park resident involved in her program, and I know of 3 former explorers that are now working in other full-time departments in some way, shape, or form. I know of this personally because one of the former explorers is my son. My son, Michael, very recently graduated from Nipsey Fire Academy in Glenview and is currently a probationary firefighter on a full-time department. I want to take the opportunity to thank Chief Kenny and her whole department for grooming my son for the fire service. I would like to thank you for supporting the Broadview Fire Explorer program's existence and want to assure you that it benefits every young person that gets involved. More programs should be available. Respectfully, Michael Torrezo, Fire Chief, Elmwood Park Fire Department. So when we talk about service, it's not just the service that we do every day, that we show up to this village. It's the service that we instill in our young people. And I have to just say this, when Chief Kenny became the fire chief, I was a huge advocate and a supporter of hers before she was the fire chief. And I think I became more fond of her as I learned more about her passion for young people and giving them opportunities. The opportunities are here in Broadview. They are here. We're small. It's a lot of work working with young people. We mentor young people, about 15 kids, and when Chief Mills came on board, he assists me with mentoring some of these young children. And then with Ms. Jones, they assist me with mentoring because mentoring has been a part of my platform for over 20 years. And to see young people have some success. It's just that one person that take a chance on them. So no matter how hard a life is, what goes on in the family structure, they know that they can come to Broadview and instill good quality and people that love them without judgment. So Chief Kenny, I commend you, and I want to tell you thank you. So we'll make sure that this goes in your personnel file, and I'll make sure you have a copy of it. But I just thought this was a big deal. It was. And so that's all I have for tonight. I would make a motion to go into closed session at this time.
Can I have a motion from one of the trustees?
Motion to go into closed session?
Second.
Okay, let me first read that we're going into closed session for item A, section 2C11, litigation against or on behalf of the village of where the village finds that an action is probable or imminent. And item B, possible action on items coming out of closed session. So it's been properly motioned by trustee Senior and seconded by trustee Abraham. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are hereby suspending the regular board meeting at 8:10 p.m. to go into closed session. Thank you.
we ready?
Here we go. The time is now 8:28 p.m. I need a motion to reconvene regular board meeting.
Motion to reconvene.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Shelby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are now hereby in regular session again. We just came out of executive session and items that, well, let me turn it to Madam President. Madam President, your floor.
Yes, I'm asking for a motion to approve a certain settlement agreement with Edward Santiago Senior.
I motion to approve the execution of the settlement agreement with Edward Santiago Senior for the amount of $60,000.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Shelby, seconded by trustee Miller to approve resolution authorizing and approving the execution of a certain settlement agreement with Edward Santiago Senior for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois. Madam President, would you like a roll call?
Yes, please.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes?
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Trustees Chalmalave and Armour are absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0 to approve this resolution.
I'll call for a
Thank you.
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Shelby to adjourn this evening's meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are hereby adjourned at 8:29 p.m. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
How did you get to this place? Because that's the only one I can find.